Hello and welcome to another exciting podcast brought to you by Supplierty News. I am your host, Jamie White, and I have with me today Lisa S. Jones, Chief IMail Officer for IMail. Was that good?
That was perfect.
Perfect. See, I like perfect.
That was perfect. I like how you put that emphasis on Lisa S. Jones. That's right. That's like Fred P. Sanford, period. Okay?
You got to say the whole name.
I love it.
Yeah, you got to say the whole name.
Mm-hmm.
What does the S stand for?
Sharon.
Sharon? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but enough about names. Let's go ahead and let's get into your company, right? Because that's what we're here
funny,
for.
James.
I try to make conversations, fun, exciting, and a little bit funny. But again, thank you so much for joining me, Lisa. Now, before we get into your company a little bit, let's talk about kind of how we met, which was through the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth. So if you can, just tell us kind of how you got into that program, and then we'll talk about how we met, and then we can talk about IMail.
Okay, perfect. For the Tuck School of Business, that was such a wonderful opportunity because at the time we were under the Mentor Protege program at the Coca-Cola Company. And one of the great benefits of Coca-Cola is they're looking at ways in which to help their companies that are being mentored to expand, to scale. And we were offered the sponsorship and the opportunity to go to the Tuck School at Dartmouth to meet other colleagues around the country. And that's where we were fortunate enough to be classmates in that forum. And that's where we've been connected ever since.
If you can, tell me so you linked up with Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth. It essentially, helps organizations like ours, so minority business enterprises, scale up their business, learn the basics in terms of how to manage, a business, and then expand that. So if you can, tell me, how did you get into IMail, or what made you start IMail, and then what helped you connect with Coca-Cola to get into Tuck?
Sure. The way that I started IMail is because I was thinking about communications and how many ways that we communicate, especially in corporate America. My background actually was in supplier diversity in the telecom business. And I thought about how many ways that suppliers would communicate with me to try to get their product in front of the company. And everyone would send these large PDF attachments and large files that would take up a lot of space in email. Okay. And the challenge with email is that we have too many of them. So I started thinking about communications from the standpoint of how can we make communications engaging? How can we make them stand out from the clutter so that people will want to take that next step? So as a result of me starting IMail, thinking about communications, we started developing the technology. We launched a series of campaigns. One was for the Georgia Women's Business Council that featured the president of the organization. And once that IMail went out with the president's message, it went out to their supporting board members. One of the board members was the Coca-Cola Company. And as a result of that, both the Coca-Cola Company and Time Warner via Turner Broadcasting System saw IMail and said, what is this and how can we find out more about it? And with that, Turner Broadcasting Systems was the first IMail customer enterprise. First enterprise customer, actually, and then the Coca-Cola Company came on board second. And as a result, once they saw the innovation and the technology, they recommended and gave us the opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity to go to the Tuck School at Dartmouth.
Interesting. Okay, interesting. About how, in terms of a time frame, how long did that take from launching? And then having TBS sign up, and then Coca-Cola, and then you getting them referring you or recommending you, to the Tuck School of Business.
Okay. Well, in terms of timing, it took development time because we have an international team, actually. I actually started domestically here in the United States looking for the right resources to develop the technology behind IMail that creates this engaging audio-video experience in email. So it took us approximately, I would say, 9 to 11 months in development. Okay. And then we also are part of Microsoft Women in Technology Initiative. And we had the incredible opportunity to work with Microsoft. They've been most kind and helpful from the standpoint of providing technical architecture assistance, and their incubation lab, which allowed us to test and retest and beta test the product before launching it to enterprise clients.
Okay. That's fairly quick. So 9 to 11 months, and then after that, you got a lot of support behind it, and then it led you to Tech School of Business at Dartmouth, which is where we met. And, as we talked about
Absolutely.
before, definitely wanted to give, or speak about the Tech School of Business just because they have been a huge supporter of the podcast. And I believe that they have a program coming up over the summer as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And, if you're a minority business enterprise looking to, for ways to help expand your business. But with that being said, okay, so after you've created the IML idea, went through development, gotten some buy-in, gone through Tuck to help, expand your business. Now we're in what year? 2012, 2013-ish?
2013-ish as well. And so we started thinking about other corporate clients in terms of how we could provide value solutions. So what we figured out with IML is that, in the midst of receiving all these emails internally to a corporation, so now you have employee engagement and you have the customer engagement. So what we did from learning all of these great things at Tuck and through our enterprise client and understanding their business, what we did was create another sector of IML for employee engagement. So now, if there are corporate communications, executive communications, where maybe the CEO would like to send a message to his entire employee base and team, now it could be more personalized and engaging so that video and email experience delivers seamlessly in their inbox and also on their mobile devices, because as time has migrated, we spend more time on our phones than we do on our PCs and laptops a lot of the time. So we've been able to enhance the technology since that time frame so that it is totally responsive on both platforms.
Okay. So I want to go back a little bit.
Sure.
Because I love this. I love this. One of the things I do want to mention is that I remember at Tech School of Business, you actually showed us what IML is. So I know we were talking kind of about the theory of making communication more interactive, right? And engaging, and increasing that experience. So I remember when we were there, you showed basically you click on an email, right? And then instead of, like you said, just a ordinary, PDF, huge PDF or just a, hi, how are you type of email, it was actually a video, or I guess a GIF or whatnot, where it would, the person could, or whoever was sending it could kind of talk through what message they're giving, but it's actually directly through the email. And then it also has engaging links in it as well. And I'll never forget, like, when you showed that, everybody was like, man, that's $1 million idea right there. Like, I don't know what you're going to do, but do not drop this idea. That was like the only thing that everybody agreed, like, that idea is going to be worth a lot of money. And this was in 2012, 2013. And
I'm so impressed that you remember. I'm sitting here smiling because you remember that experience. And I wish we would have captured it on...
Because
I'm
telling
Jamie,
you, like, that
awesome.
was no. I'm being like, you don't have to or anything. Like, I'm being completely serious.
Seriously.
There's been a couple of ideas that I've ever seen throughout my life that I'm like, that idea is going to be worth a lot of money if it's built, if you do it the right way.
Thank you so much for that, and for the call to action, and that the fact that when it delivers, it's that instant play experience. We've adapted the technology now where it could be instant play, where as soon as you receive that iMail experience in your inbox, it's instant play. But also in working with Microsoft, one of the things they mentioned is that, Lisa, there's going to be a segment of the population as well where they're in an environment where it's not conducive to play the audio, etc., or to play the video. So what we've done, we've developed with their support a second version that allows the customer or the enterprise or the agency to decide if they want it to be an instant play experience or if they want the video to play, and then you click, you as the customer, the viewer, click for the sound to engage the sound. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. What happens if you don't click the sound? Does like
then you will watch the video play so that you can see the content. And we've added up closed captioning because now you have to ask. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely, because now, I mean, it's such a huge audience because we have so many messages of coming across us at any given day. Some people prefer to look at the word captioning going across versus hearing it. So we've added that as a feature as well.
Yeah, that is amazing. So for me, I'm actually more of a visual learner.
Are you?
Yeah. So if I need to figure out, how to do things, one of the things that's really growing nowadays, especially because I'm 30, so especially with people, around my age, is the idea of like going to YouTube to walk them through a process, right? So less reading and more, let me watch a video so I can get the message, so I can, figure out what I need to do further, or, so I can collect
exactly.
So that's another reason why I think that this is extremely impressive, is that now you can, instead of, again, go back to those PDFs, instead of reading through those huge PDFs, you can get the information succinct.
Email.
You can see the person, which seeing the person helps a lot as they're delivering that message to you. You may be even able to see the product, and it's all through the email.
Exactly. It could be the product. It could be the communication. It could be the commercial. All these commercials that are even on TV today that could be repurposed. The money has already been invested in the video production. At large cost, it could be millions of dollars. But the idea now of taking that video content, repurposing it to go out to that customer base. And what we do also, we compress the video content so that when it delivers in the inbox, it's only 4 to 15K in size. So it's very small, no attachments, no downloads, and it's that instant play, seamless experience.
Okay, so here's a question. When it comes to the video, we're talking about length, right? Because I do think that, just for me personally, like it's always that tricky, like how long should I make this email so I can convey that message and get, my potential client or, my employees
right.
whatnot to consume it and then actually do something with it. So when you're dealing with these types of emails and whatnot, what length, what information do you think is the best to kind of convey that message, or whatever they have, whether it's through sales or, just internally giving their information to their employees?
Exactly. Okay, that's a wonderful question. And with regards to iMail being a sales tool, we've had it set up as well where it can be executed from the sales perspective because we're all trying to open doors, foster relationships, so it could be sent out. Now, going to your core question of how long should it be? What we believe in as one of the subject matter experts in email and now iMail is it should be like an appetizer. It should be 30 seconds in this case in the email world of things, of the inbox. It should be a 30-second experience up to a 60-second experience. Now, with that being said, in that 60 seconds or less, communicating the message, driving for the call to action. Because at the end of the day, as you mentioned, we're looking for that next step. We always want a customer to do something to acknowledge the content or to learn more, to contact us, to purchase this order, whatever it may be, to take this training, all types of, to sign up for your benefits. It could be a host of different things, but it's about driving for that ability to get them to click. Once they click, Jamie, actually, they can have the video up to infinity technically because they're clicking at that point to go to the full content. But the appetizer being the iMail is 60 seconds or less. Okay.
I like how you use the word 30 to 60 second experience. I like that that verbiage. I like that.
Okay, great.
So let's let's transition a little bit more. So we're in 2013, right? After that.
Well, actually, I've added it all in. Okay, I've mixed it in, but I can still go because I still have the $1 billion roundtable to cover as well.
I like how you're just throwing these things out there, like, oh, by the way, I'm part of the Microsoft Coca-Cola. By the way, these are all just by the way. So, I also do this. I can't forget about the $1 billion roundtable because, of course, right? Forgot about that. Lisa S. Jones.
I forgot about that. It is that. It's true.
But yeah, let's definitely talk about that because I am curious. Again, I really like this idea and just how you've grown from that 2013. We can encompass everything, that's fine. But from 2013 to 2018, and then we can talk.
Well, actually, yes, it did happen in 2014. Actually, so you are on the timeline path. It's true because that was when the $1 billion roundtable came about. So no, that's fine.
Okay, yeah. So tell us about that. Definitely tell us about that. From 2014, the $1 billion roundtable.
Okay, so in 2014, as I mentioned that we are in Microsoft's Mentor Protege program and also part of their Women in Technology initiative. I'm originally from Alabama, and one of the things that's unique, I feel, about this IMEL experience is I want to serve as also a role model to let people know of any background that you don't have to be technical per se in your abilities in order to drive for a technical product. Being a part of Microsoft and their Mentor Protege program, I had the opportunity to meet with Fernando Hernandez, who I admire very much, and he's been one of IMEL's biggest advocates. And he said, Lisa, this is such an incredible product. I want to also make an introduction to the $1 billion roundtable so that they can know about this innovation and how it can be used. And from that introduction, I was invited to be a speaker, a highlight speaker at the $1 billion roundtable in 2014. And it was to speak on women in innovation and what does it take to find a change agent, or what does it take to implement a solution where corporations or the end user might not know there's another way to do something different. So being the first to market a product that is something that's a disruptor, and how do you execute that? So that was my first introduction to the $1 billion roundtable, and it has been just the best collaborators at the summit, and I'm thankful every day for that opportunity.
Yeah, no, that's huge. $1 billion roundtable, obviously, corporations that have spent at least $1 billion with minority and women-owned companies. At the time, I believe as of last year, now it's veterans, LGBT, and disabled, if I'm not mistaken. So, absolutely.
So
yeah, I mean that opportunity is amazing. How did you, after you spoke with that organization, how did you use that to, or as a catalyst, if you will, to take your business and expand it even further? Because those are some big name companies in that meeting. That was
absolutely. I think. Thank you so much. I think with regards to the $1 billion roundtable, from the standpoint of what their organization represents in terms of supplier diversity excellence, of reaching that goal, there are several major brands that are aspire to be in the $1 billion roundtable. I believe right now it's either 27 or 28 companies, but there are so many that are aspiring to support women in diverse businesses as well. And so what it taught me is to focus on corporate culture in terms of what's important for when my company continues to grow to be a huge enterprise or whatnot, and how to foster diversity. I think what's important to also glean from both TUF as well as Roundtable is that drive and the ability to have a vision to execute. You need to find an advocate who understands your vision and will support you in terms of your growth. And I would say that the networking, the resources, and the talent that are available in these venues are priceless. And it's just a matter of plugging in and finding the right way to access to continue to grow.
Let's talk about that growth. How have you seen because I'm honestly not familiar with any like competitors in this market. So how have you seen the technology and just the space that you're in, essentially emailing and creating engaging email change over the past, what is it, almost decade now? Man.
Right. The way that I've seen an evolution for sure. Like in my inbox, it's crazy. My personal inbox has like 150,000 emails. I know I might have a world record. I don't know. That's something, but okay. I've signed up for every, and within my company, our team members have signed up for every email that's out there. So any company that's listening, we're probably on your email distribution list if you have one, because we're coming for you. And the goal is what we do in every presentation, just so that you know as well, we like to understand the customer. So in order for us, being in the email business, which we call it the iMail business, of course, but it's still dealing with the inbox. we have to understand, what are you sending out today? Are you sending out a newsletter? Well, what does that newsletter look like? So when we think about the competitive market over the last decade or a couple of years, it's changed dramatically. So what's happening now, it started with a link, Jamie, where people would send just a link.
Yep.
And well, they might have just sent text, all words that just keep going on forever. No one's going to read all these words anyway. That's a problem because we're all inundated. And then they'd send a link saying, click here. Okay, that was the second thing. Now what they're doing, they're sending a graphic, a square box graphic, basically. And whatever that call to action, it's just looking at you. It's not talking to you. It's not engaging. It's not making you feel a certain kind of way. And then you decide, I'm just going to click it, and then it's going to take you to another page, which is a browser, or to download a document. And that's where it's evolved to today. So in terms of our competitive landscape, I think we've been able to, I know that we've been able to maintain our positioning because we're focused on the customer. We're all about their engagement, what's important to them, how we can best service them in any line of the business. Secondly, I would say we also have a patent pending on our technology so that we can ensure going forward that we stay at the forefront, video and email.
Oh, nice. That's very nice. How has that process been? Just real quick, in terms of like going for a patent.
Oh, sure. It's a definite learning experience because once you submit the patent, that's one step, and then and then you have, of course, these things called office actions where you go back and defend different elements. But the key to that is having a good patent attorney that understands your field of interest and area of expertise of what you're looking to do to map it out, and then they go and do what they do best, which is legal IP protection. But it's been a great process for us, but it's just a time-consuming process as well.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
I
I believe it. I know several people who are in the process of either trying to go through the patent process and whatnot, and I hear the same thing. It's a learning experience. So
yeah, most definitely.
Just curious how you were going through that as well. But yeah, so let's just moving a little bit further here. So we've talked about kind of how you started out, kind of what helped you grow. And some of the industry, I guess, not standards, but how the industry is evolving. If you can, just tell me a little bit about where you're at right now, with all the experience that you've had. And then as well as, how do you see the IMail business moving towards or moving into the future?
What I see, thank you so much. What I appreciate about your questions is it reminds me of the journey of the roadmap of why I started the company was to make an impact in communications and engagement, no matter what language or what country it's from. We all have a need to communicate. So thinking forward, even when we met initially in 2012 timeframe, I was focused on the innovative side of how we move forward and how we also could further align with ad agencies. So that, because of course ad agencies are incredible because they have the relationship with the client and the brands, and they have all these creative services. So if we add the sizzle to that experience in email and mobile, we knew that we would have a combined winner. So what we've been able to do is to align ourselves with some key ad agencies, one of them in particular being GSD&M in Austin, Texas. And what's been so rewarding about that experience is they were open and willing to embrace diversity and inclusion. I believe they're the first advertising agency to execute in the model of diversity and inclusion. And as a result, we've been able to support their inner office, internal actually, training and inclusion initiatives as well. And now looking forward to some external customer-facing engagement. We also secured Major League Baseball as well as a client. So what's exciting to me still as the Chief IMail Officer, CEO, is IMail touches so many different touch points. It's not limited to a particular industry, but it's all about wherever the experience is needed. So being able to work with Major League Baseball has been exciting. And looking forward, what we're focused on this year and moving forward is a custom do-it-yourself software as a service platform. What this platform would do is allow corporate enterprise clients as well as agencies and marketers to log into a platform, and create their own email experiences within minutes. So they would log in, upload their video content, they would choose their particular graphic or upload their own, and it would compress the video content down to 4 to 15K, and they would be able to send out their own email in minutes. In today's process, it's a customized solution where our customers, we engage with them at every step of the process. So we would still be on board for the consulting side when they need us, but to have this do-it-yourself platform is the next step of innovation and the evolution of iMail's journey.
When do you think that platform will be ready to go?
We are projecting our launch to be in the fall of 2018. So it's in development right now. We're so excited about it because it's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So do you see that one would be more so geared toward like organizations like mine, for example, like MBEs, or do you think that?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry. What I wanted to say there is, with regards to the target market for the DIY do-it-yourself email portal, it would be at different levels, the emerging model, as well as the mid services and the enterprise level and agency. And so each one would have a different price point and different features, but we all have a message to share. And me being at some point an emerging business and growing business, why should I miss out on an incredible opportunity to communicate my message of what I want to share, no different than any other enterprise? So that's why we decided to have the model open to all sizes and nonprofits.
Okay, no, I like that. Like, I think, especially, like you said, in today's market and in today's environment, I do think that the DIY piece is going to be a game changer. And I mean, if I can just grab this application or whatnot that does this, and then just shoot it to my potential customers or again my employees and whatnot, I think in minutes, I think that makes sense.
Yes. And then one other point I wanted to mention as well. A lot of clients will ask us just in the education. They say, "Well, Lisa, is iMail a competitor to what we currently have, like an Epsilon email system, let's say, or something like a MailChimp or Constant Contact?" Right. And the beauty of our model is we designed iMail to play in the sandbox with all of these wonderful third-party email service providers. So we're not the company per se that is focused strictly on sending out the content. We're able to integrate with all of these email service providers because we're providing the sizzle, the fast, but come alive, the inspirational part of the messaging. So we're that thin layer in between that delivers the engagement.
Okay, so they're the basic foundation, and then you're the inspiration. I got it. But no, I get it. You guys work hand in glove with like a MailChimp. So
exactly. It's not a competitor. Exactly.
It's always nice when you can say, we're not a competitor. We're trying to partner with other organizations. No, it makes complete sense. Okay, well, yeah, we definitely discussed, I think, pretty much everything in terms of iMail, kind of what you guys are doing, what you're focusing on, and what you're expanding on. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you may want to mention before you?
Sure.
Yep.
I think the only other thing I wanted to cover is just to look at our projection forward of target customers that would be ideal on the roster going forward in terms of the market of where we plan to go. And I think with that being said, I would say, with iMail, we've covered so many great areas of the enterprise. I mean, from a Coca-Cola to a Delta Airlines as well. And I wanted to mention that one of our greatest honors, and this has meant the world to us, is that we were named in the end of February of this year, 2018, we were named the 2018 Catalyst of the Year for Delta Airlines. And the reason that means so much to us is when you think about the fact that Delta has 80,000 employees, they have over 1,200 partners. The idea that iMail is the catalyst means the world to all of us as a global team. And we're just forever in gratitude for that opportunity and to be of valued service to a client that's best in class as a Delta Airlines. Yeah,
congratulations. Was that a part of the video that you sent that it was like the overview and whatnot? Yeah, that was really good video. Yep.
See, it makes me emotional even now because I do have a Delta Airlines at the top of the food chain, and the idea they're using iMail's product is just like a blessing, and I'm just always full of gratitude because it means so much. That's a big deal for us. And I also wanted to say, in terms of target markets of what we're looking at going forward, we have these brainstorming sessions internal to our company, and we always talk about the fun side of business. So even in thinking about Disney World or Orlando or different places, but to have that experience for the Walt Disney Company would be totally exciting to bring all of their exciting opportunities for people as a family to come together for fun. That's one. Mm-hmm. Also, Vegas. Who doesn't love Vegas? So from the standpoint of all these casinos, all of these beautiful resorts and hotels, all these players clubs where they want you to sign up to get your rewards, that would be an awesome vessel for iMail to increase the engagement for the customers as well as to educate the employees on different initiatives. And thirdly, I would also say within the healthcare space, like a Kaiser Permanente, a Blue Cross Blue Shield, there are so many sets of information that has to go out to the customers, to the employees. And being on the forefront of healthcare is something personal to the company as well as the need just to communicate. So those are the three key areas that we're looking to expand next. And we just so look forward to the opportunity to connect with the various brands so that we can introduce the technology.
I love it. I love it. I think the most interesting for me, probably going to show some bias here, but I think that Las Vegas one was very interesting. I love health. I love like Disney. The piece here was the like rewards part of it, because that can expand further from Las Vegas, because there's a lot of companies
exactly
that have, like, those rewards, like credit card companies are getting a lot of those who do different types of reward emails as well. So I think that one was very interesting. That's I like where your head's at, and I like the future or potential future for iMail. So what I would suggest, definitely keep at it. I think that this is a wonderful idea. I loved just everything that I've seen from it. When you sent me the emails, showcasing.
I sent you the iMails.
The emails. Showing the video and whatnot, and then the click-throughs. I think it was really well for me. It was very easy. Again, very great consumable. So I completely support it.
Thank you.
So I think that this is definitely something that can help a lot of people. And I do think that this is something from a tech standpoint that is very innovative.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for the interview, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Lisa S. Jones. I appreciate that.
Thank you again, Jamie, for the time. And I have been enjoying watching you grow and expand. And I'm just so excited for your future. And I look forward to us going to execute the casinos in Vegas as well. So we'll collaborate on that. But thank you so much for everything and the time.
For sure. If I can have fun on that, definitely let me know.
Definitely.
With that being said, thank you so much. And everyone, take care.
Take care.